Most girls train their glutes the same exact way, and so they stay stuck the same way. If you've ever been working hard, hitting all the popular glute movements, and still don't see the glute shelf or roundness you want, it's not your genetics and it's not your effort, it's the exercises and the way you're going about doing those exercises. And so I'm going to show you the 5 movements that are holding your glutes back, plus the replacements that will finally get them growing. So as I make my pre-workout, I just want to let you guys know, I get a lot, why do I wear my shirt like this? Like tucked in the back like you see here. It is honestly just because I don't want to be as perceived in the gym as I would be if I had just a sports bra and shorts on. Especially when I wear shorts, I just feel like I'm drawing so much attention to myself. I don't know, when I'm wearing just a sports bra, because I'm already having a lot of attention on me when I have this big mirrorless camera recording me in the gym. So I try to keep that at a minimum by using just this big t-shirt and just tucking it in so that I can show you guys my glutes while also still not being as perceived. It's really helpful for me when it comes to the sustainability and recording for you guys, because there's honestly nothing worse than getting demotivated and just not wanting to record in the gym. Because if I were to wear a sports bra and just that in the gym, I would not want to record, because adding recording in brings even more attention, and then I would just not want to record. That's a lot of attention until I get like my own private studio to record, like I see a lot of these fitness YouTubers doing, which I will do in the future. Then I have to wear this kind of stuff. Unless it's a day where I'm just like not caring, which doesn't really happen, because as much as I don't care that people are watching me record, I do care if it seems like it's like the whole production. And especially for how my upper body looks, it looks like a serious recording, and that's when I usually get told to stop recording, which is super frustrating because I hate being told to stop recording, because it's basically being told to stop doing your job, and that's like the worst thing ever. So when I wear stuff like this, it looks more casual and more unserious, I think. Also, I don't have to worry about like bloating or anything. It's something you can do too, because basically it allows you to not worry about how you look and just focus on your glutes, look at your glutes in the mirror and not see anything else, because that can be really demotivating if you look like you have water retention everywhere. Especially common because these drinks usually have a lot of water retention ingredients, which is done on purpose, because on leg days, you need to be holding on to water so that you have more electrolytes in your body to work off of. I also just feel more comfortable in it too, but mainly for the recording reason. So just want to let you guys know that. Whew. So if you've been taught that squats are the queen of glute growth, this might sting, but traditional barbell squats recruit your quads and lower back way more than your glutes, especially if you're someone who already struggles to feel their glutes in the first place. This doesn't mean squats are bad. It means they are not the best primary glute building movement for most women. It doesn't get the optimal glute stretch that you can get in other movements. It doesn't get the best glute activation like you can get in other movements. It's very injury prone because of different hip mobility levels. And actually, fun fact, a traditional squat is how I got my terrible lower back injury that put me out of the gym for a whole year, and I even had perfect form during it and everything. When I came back into the gym after, for 30 days I couldn't use any weight at all, and that's how I discovered my groundbreaking glute shelf method that I have in the description down below now, and it is exactly how I was able to build a glute shelf the way that I've never thought was even possible, in the amount of time I never thought was possible either. So anyway, replace traditional squats with Bulgarian split squats. I've said this in a lot of my videos, and I'll not stop saying it because it's so important to replace any type of traditional barbell squat movement that you're doing with Bulgarian split squats. These force your glutes to take over because your pelvis naturally moves into a glute bias position. The stretch, the angle of your torso, the controlled range, all of it drives tension directly into your glute fibers. Bulgarian split squats also allow for way more optimal glute stretch, which if you do not know, the more stretch you're able to get in the glutes, the more growth you're able to get, along with many other things as well, but this is a big one. The more stretch you're able to get, the bigger your glutes will grow. So it's really important you're able to get an optimal amount of glute stretch, a controlled amount of stretch, which is very, very difficult to do in traditional barbell squatting unless you have the perfect femur to torso ratio, hip mobility, and everything like that. The stars basically have to align perfectly for you to get the most out of squats, which is almost nearly never for most people. Also, for Bulgarian split squats, you can focus on one side at a time, which is a huge deal that you cannot do in squats. This places so much neural focus on the glute, also under a lot less distraction. You get very distracted during squats. You tend to only focus on counting instead of the actual muscle. There's so many things that I do not like about traditional barbell squats for glute growth specifically. So if you want visible shape, Bulgarian split squats beat traditional squats every single time. Exercise number 2 to stop is treating activation bands as a warm-up only. Most girls use band activation as a quick warm-up, and then they never think about their glutes again once the real workout starts. That's the problem. Your glutes don't magically stay on for the next 45 minutes just because you did 20 banded kickbacks before your workout. So instead of thinking activation is something you do before the workout, treat it as the foundation of every single rep that you do, every single glute workout that you do. This is exactly why Glute Reset, my system for glute shelf, exists, because learning how to keep your glutes firing consistently is a skill, not just a warm-up. When you prioritize muscle connection throughout the entire workout, every movement becomes a glute movement. And in Glute Reset, this is super crucial to how it delivers such groundbreaking results for every single person that tries it. It's not only every step that I took to get to where I was at after I got my lower back injury, after I discovered it, but it's what hundreds of women have done. And what it does is it delivers the neural pathways that were not there in the first place to be able to contract, feel, and control the muscle. Without being able to contract, feel, and control the muscle, what are you actually growing? So this completely fixes that. Completely fixes any quad dominance. It changes you from being hamstring, quad, lower glute dominant to being completely glute dominant. It's all about creating those neural pathways, which takes focus and very specific instruction and very specific progression. So Glute Reset completely takes away the pain points of not being able to feel your glutes working, which is why you're not able to see the growth that you're wanting. The link is in the description down below if you want to check it out. It's limited to 1,000 spots, and I cannot wait to bring you guys the Glute Reset Transformation Contest starting in January 1st, because that is just going to be so exciting for all of you to compete against each other for the best glute growth results. So I'm super excited to finally announce that. Also, another reason why Glute Reset works so well is because it doesn't require constant cooking. I don't want you to be counting macros constantly. You'll see results within the first workout that you do in Glute Reset. That's how powerful this method is. Also, every workout should be less than 40 minutes altogether. And you can even choose to do it from home or a commercial gym. So you have no excuse not to get the absolute most from what hundreds of women have already gotten. This is something it's taken years to develop and years of testing, which is totally unheard of right now in a glute growth system like this. So it was not something that was just a quick creation that I made. It was a truly groundbreaking discovery that I evolved and fine-tuned over years now. Exercise number 3 to stop is cable standing hip abductions done wrong. Most girls do cable abductors by kicking their legs straight back or straight to the side. The problem is this: your glute medius doesn't fire in a straight line, so you're working the wrong angles and wondering why nothing is growing. Instead of kicking your leg straight back behind you or straight to the side of you, take your leg out in a diagonal line that matches the direction of the glute medius fibers. And stop hyperfixating on perfect form here. This is where a lot of people go wrong. They are hyperfixating on the form, how their pelvis is. When you switch your attention to the feel of of the muscle instead of the mechanics, the form improves automatically, and the glute medius finally activates the way it's supposed to. This is one of the big principles also inside Glute Reset. When you shift focus to the muscle instead of the form and hyperfixating on form of the movement, your glutes grow way faster. This is one of the many reasons why they see results almost immediately. Exercise number 4 to stop is walking lunges. Walking lunges can definitely hit the glutes, but almost nobody does them in a way that actually builds anything. People rush the reps, collapse their hips, and spend maybe 1 second in the lowering phase, if that. That means you're skipping most of the entire glute stretch and most of the glute time under tension that actually creates the growth that you're wanting. It's more of an overall total body workout rather than a glute growth specific exercise like many people think it is. To get more of that glute shelf that is harder to obtain when you're doing total body movements, then you have to replace it with things like step-ups instead. Step-ups are controlled, stable, and force you to sink into a deep glute stretch. You can slow down, hold tension, and actually feel the muscle instead of rushing through reps. This is why step-ups lead to more growth, less weight. So with walking lunges, you're going down maybe within 2 seconds. You almost never see anyone that is doing walking lunges taking 6 seconds to go down for every single rep like I would want you to in Glute Reset. Whereas with step-ups, you can easily take way more time on the eccentric. So that means you're getting at least 50% more time under tension alone with step-ups compared to that of lunges. And if you're getting 50% more time under tension with step-up, that means you're leaving 50% of your potential growth completely on the table when you're doing lunges for even more effort. So if you're wanting to grow your glutes, this is not ideal. It's great for a full body workout to grow many muscles at once, but not if you're wanting to target glute growth for that glute shelf that you're wanting. Exercise number 5 to stop: hip abduction machine. You might feel this machine burn, but feeling a burn is not the same as creating tension in the right direction. The hip abduction machine does not train the glute medius along its own fiber line. It means all that effort isn't going where you think it is. Replace it with glute medius raises while holding on to something on the same working side. You do these by simply doing a hula dancer movement with your pelvis to get the glute medius awake and firing. Again, activation should be constant. It should not just be something before your workout. It should be a constant thing that you're doing to grow those neural pathways from your brain to your glutes in order to allow your brain to actually access that area. If you're not even able to access that area, it's always just going to go back to your quads every time, which is something that might sound very familiar to you. Your constant focus should be finding and locating and mentally grabbing onto what that area feels like as much as humanly possible. This feeling will be very minimal at first, which is how it was for me and is how it is for everyone that starts out in Glute Reset, but that grows immensely over time, especially lightning fast when it has the correct progression, correct instruction, and tested method. What glute medius raises do is these match the exact direction of the muscle fibers in the glute medius. They give you a real stretch and create way more targeted growth. This is the movement that gives you the roundness on the side of your hips that most people chase with the abduction machine. It also can work to fill in hip dips, create the illusion of no hip dips if your hip dips are skeletal. But if your hip dips are caused from underdeveloped glute medius, then glute medius raises will finally fix it. So with all that being said, these were the 5 mistakes that hold more women back than anything else. If you want to actually feel your glutes firing and actually see shape develop, use the replacement movements and focus on the brain to glute connection throughout the entire workout, not just for the beginning of the workout, not the end of the workout, throughout the entire workout. If you want a full 4-phase, 8-month-long workout structure to follow so that you never waste time and waste frustration and have any more pain points when it comes to building your glutes and to building fast glutes, my glute reset system with my neural pathway connection method is linked down below. This will get you the best, fastest glute growth. It delivers a glute shelf. It switches you from being quad dominant to glute dominant basically every single time. Every woman that goes through it sees results almost immediately. And if you follow it, you're gonna get that shelf that you've always wanted. I know, because I didn't only do it for myself, I did it for hundreds of women. So I want you to be part of it too. Remember, the Glute Reset System Transformation Contest starts January 1st of this year. If you're watching this after, there's probably another one coming out soon. I'm going to be running this multiple times a year. So make sure you hop on it now so that you can submit your transformation photos whenever that time comes, and you can win not only your money back but way more. So I really cannot wait to see your transformations. I can't wait for you to start growing your glute shelf. And